Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your Baltimore sports podcast. My name is Nathan Stroud, and today we are going to be recapping the Orioles win on opening day. It was a great day. Opening day for the MLB. It's always an amazing time. Every single team uses their best pitcher. For the most part, everyone is healthy heading into the season, so you got your opening day lineup. Every single home team has this big old ceremony, and it's a really special time for baseball with all of this going on. I love opening day. Opening day, especially for baseball, is one of the coolest first game traditions that a lot of major sports do. Obviously in basketball you have your home opener. In football, you have your home opener. But for opening day, it just feels different. You know what I'm saying? It just feels different. The vibes are different. And the vibes are very different for this Orioles team this year because you can tell automatically that there is really something special with this Orioles team. Obviously, they only win 2-1, so it wasn't some crazy blowout win for Baltimore, but they still win the game 2-1. They get the job done. At the end of the day, a win is a win. We've got 161 more regular season games to go. There's a lot more baseball left, and obviously we're going to be covering every single game after the game, post-game recaps, every single game on this channel. So make sure to tune in, follow, subscribe, follow the Twitter, follow the Instagram, link in the bio. Love all you guys. This is season 2. This is literally season 2 of Birds of a Feather. I started this podcast I guess technically 1 year ago today in a way, because my first episode ever of Birds of a Feather was opening day recap last season in 2025, where we beat the Blue Jays. We won by a lot. This year, we also win on opening day. They beat the Minnesota Twins 2-1. They lead this series 2-1. But more importantly, they're 1-0 on the season. You love to see that nice 1-0 to start the year. And winning on opening day is obviously always a great thing because you start off 1-0. You get the bragging rights for a day over your friends or other fans that are 0-1 or whatever. But the Orioles win 2-1. Fantastic win. Very great game from our pitching, especially. They only gave up 1 run in this entire game. Ryan Helsley was electric as he struck out 3 in the 9th inning to get the save. Trevor Rogers was also incredible. We're going to go over his stat line in just a second, but he is looking like the Trevor Rogers of last year. He was incredible in his first opening day start. The offense was a little bit lackluster. There wasn't a lot to go over. I think we only had 5 total hits. A lot of softly hit balls as well. Our runs weren't anything extravagant, but at the end of the day, sometimes you're going to be in these scenarios where it's going to be a low-scoring pitching duel-like game, and the Orioles were able to come out on top in this one. So going over and looking at the classic ESPN, box score like we always did last year. I'm kind of getting chills going back to this, man. I'm getting some nostalgia doing this from last year because I did this so much last season. But going over the box score here, the Orioles win 2-1 over the Twins. They are 1-0 on the season. You can see this nice little 1-0 right there. They get their home win in their home opener. And we're just going to go over the offense really quickly first. Again, there really isn't that much to talk about in this game. The Orioles only had 5 hits in this game. The offense was a little bit lackluster, especially from the top of the lineup. But the pitching is really where we need to talk about some stuff. So going over the offense, Taylor Ward was the leadoff man in this offense today. Taylor Ward leading off. It was his Oriole debut. Obviously got him from the Grayson Rodriguez trade. He was leading off for the Orioles. He did go 0 for 4. Some very sharp, softly hit balls. Didn't strike out at all, which is nice to see. That has been a problem of his. So if there's any positive you can take from this, it's that he didn't strike out. So Taylor Ward 0 for 4. Didn't strike out. Did have a little bit of a mishap over in left field. Byron Buxton hit a ball out to left, and you can tell that he isn't really used to playing left field in Camden Yards because the way that the wall moves, just the way that the outfield is built out and left with the wall pushed back and stuff like that. It was a little bit different for him. You can tell he did have a little bit of complications fielding that ball in. And Byron Buxton actually ended up getting a triple off of that, poorly fielded ball. And then Byron Buxton actually ended up scoring off of that triple. So Taylor Ward, he's going to get better, obviously, out and left. He's known for being a pretty damn good left fielder. Just, again, it's opening day. I'm not going to take too much from anything that happened today, positive or negative, because again, it's opening day. There's still so many games left this season, and obviously you like to see stuff early, but again, there's still so many games left this season. I'm not gonna deep dive into things and saying like, oh my God, Taylor Ward, he's a horrible left fielder. He went 0 for 4, blah blah blah. He's gonna be completely fine. We know the type of player that he's going to be, and I can say the very same thing about the next two guys that I'm going to talk about here. And batting second today was Gunnar Henderson, playing shortstop, of course. He went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He had some softly hit balls, and he also struck out twice on some pretty good pitches from Joe Ryan. But Gunnar Henderson, 0 for 4, not a great game from him today. Made a couple of good plays at shortstop, and the defense is also a really big thing that I want to kind of highlight in this game. The defense in this game, from the infield especially, was incredible. Kobe Mayo, Blaze Alexander, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso. The infield defense was incredible today. Gunnar made some good plays at short. Did go 0 for 4 though today. Pete Alonso, in his Oriole debut, got a standing ovation when he came up to the plate in the first inning. Did do a hat tip to the audience. That was a really cool thing to see. You don't really see that ever. You don't really see someone making their debut and then, giving a hat tip to the audience. That is very rare. So Pete Alonso in this game did go hitless, went 0 for 3, did draw a walk though, so he did get on base, did strike out twice, just like Gunnar Henderson. So both of them were on some 2 nasty Joe Ryan curveballs, who, again, Joe Ryan is one of the best pitchers in the American League, so I'm not going to take this too out of context. We played a really good pitcher. The Twins aren't that great of a team, but we did play a really good pitcher today. Pete Alonso, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, did draw a walk, did get on base. Going over to Adley Rutschman, who was the best hitter for the Orioles today. He was the only Oriole hitter that had multiple hits. He went 2 for 4 in this game. Only Oriole with a multi-hit game. 2 for 4. Love to see Adley get off on a good foot. Obviously, it's opening day. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, Adley's back. I'm not going to scream it, to the top of the mountains for the whole world to know. But Adley Rutschman did have a good game today. 2 for 4, 2 very, all of his at-bats were very patient, very good. 2 hits in this game. You love to see it from Adley. You really do love to see it. He also did have a double in this game as well. So we love Adley Rutschman there. Obviously, he's going to be a player that a lot of people are going to watch kind of as like the X factor of this team. A lot of people are looking to see if he's going to have that bounce-back season that I think a lot of people and a lot of Orioles fans are expecting him to hopefully have. We drafted him number 1 overall a long time ago, and we obviously saw how great he can be, and over the past couple of seasons he has really regressed. So we're hoping for an Adley Rutschman comeback. He's obviously in a position to do so, and he's also got some pressure as well because Samuel Basallo obviously right now is the backup catcher, but he very well could be the catcher of the future because he signed an 8-year deal with the Orioles. So Adley does have some competition. There is some sort of pressure on him to do well, because if Adley is not able to do well this season, we're probably not going to give him an extension, and we could very well trade him this offseason. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Obviously, love to see Adley Rutschman getting off on a good foot, going 2 for 4 today. You love to see it. Next up, Samuel Basallo, the guy that I was just talking about, the 21-year-old phenomenon, young player, number 7 or number 9 prospect in the MLB right now, according to MLB Pipeline. One of the best prospects in baseball. He's the Orioles' number 1 prospect. We all know how good he can be. We saw it at the end of last year. He starts off on opening day. It's his first opening day start. He started at DH this season, or started at DH today, and that's where he is assumed that he's going to be playing a lot this year. Samuel Basallo went 1 for 4 today with a run, and he also did strike out. But you'd love to see Samuel Basallo getting on base, getting that base hit, and he also was the person that really did kind of start the rally in the 8th inning, or in the 7th inning, when the Orioles scored their only 2 runs. It started with the Samuel Basallo base hit, so you love to see that. Then going over to Tyler O'Neill, he went 1 for 2 in this game with a run scored and a walk. So Tyler O'Neill was another player who got on base twice in this game. The only other player to do that was Adley. Tyler O'Neill, 1 for 2 in this game, run scored and a walk. He followed up Samuel Basayo in the 7th inning with another base hit. He had Samuel Basayo at third, he had Tyler O'Neill at first, and then we were in prime position to then score. And then Colton Cowser, the milkman himself, came up to the plate, 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout in this game. And that RBI just so happened to be the first run of the 2026 Orioles season. It was a sacrifice fly out to deep left field, and Colton Cowser drove in the first run of the game and the first run of the season for the Orioles, which was Samuel Basayo scoring from third. So that was the first run, and then right after Colton Cowser, you had Kobe Mayo come up to bat, and in that specific inning, he did strike out, but Kobe Mayo today was incredible. He was 0 for 2 in this game with a walk and a strikeout, but he was incredible in this game. He was great. He was so good. His defense at third base was amazing. When we saw him kind of try out third base last year, he wasn't incredible. Like, he wasn't an incredible third baseman. Just from the first game of this season, just from opening day, you can tell how incredible and how great he really trained this offseason. Kobe Mayo made some amazing plays at third base today. A lot of good double plays for the Orioles as well. There was a lot of double plays. I think we turned like 3 double plays in this game, and they all had something to do with Kobe Mayo. He was great on the defensive end. We saw how good his bat was in spring training, so hopefully he can kind of get that going soon. But Kobe Mayo didn't get a hit today, but had some amazing defensive plays, but he did get on base with a walk. And then Blaze Alexander making his Oriole debut. He was the 3rd Oriole in this lineup today to make his Oriole debut, and he did not disappoint. He was 1 for 3 in today's game with a strikeout and an RBI. He drove in that second run, drove in Tyler O'Neill in this game. Tyler O'Neill was at second base, and Blaze Alexander drove him in with an RBI single in the bottom of the 7th inning. That made the game 2-0. The Minnesota Twins ended up scoring in the 8th inning, and then obviously Ryan Helsley got the save in the 9th to get the Orioles the win. But seeing Blaze Alexander in his first game at second base go out there, get that RBI single, and that was the difference in this game. You know, this was a 1-run game. Blaze Alexander technically had the go-ahead hit in this game as well, so you'd love to see it from him. Love to see Blaze Alexander getting that work in early. Obviously, Jackson Holliday is out right now. He's probably going to be out for the next 1 to 2 weeks. He's actually starting his rehab assignment at AAA Norfolk tomorrow. So hopefully Jackson will be back as soon as possible. But Blaze Alexander taking his spot right now. He played great today. You love to see it. Also had some good plays at second base as well. So now going over to the pitching, because this was the big thing. The Orioles pitching was the really big thing in this game that I think that a lot of people were interested to see against a very bad Minnesota Twins lineup, and the pitching for the Orioles did not disappoint here on opening day. And more importantly, Trevor Rogers did not disappoint on opening day. This guy is incredible. We saw what he did last year with the Orioles, had a 1.81 ERA in 100-plus innings pitched. He was amazing today. 7 innings, 3 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 0 runs. 7 innings scoreless with 5 strikeouts in his first game of the year, in his first start of the season. The 3 hits and the 4 walks is questionable. More importantly, the 4 walks is a little bit questionable. But again, it's opening day. These guys and these pitchers and these starting pitchers are doing their best to try and find their location and to try and pinpoint that accuracy. Trevor Rogers had a little bit of trouble with that today. But again, still the fact that he was able to get out of the jam. The Minnesota Twins left 7 guys on base, but Trevor Rogers did a great job of getting out of the jam. Again, 3 hits, 4 runs, left 7 runners on base, but 0 runs for Trevor Rogers. You love to see that. A nice 0.00 ERA to start the year. An idiot pitch count. He was insane. Trevor Rogers, we love you. We know how incredible you are. Tyler Wells came in the 8th inning as the setup man for Helsley. He did give up a run. He gave up that leadoff triple to Byron Buxton, and then they ended up scoring him. But Tyler Wells did only, he limited the damage by only giving up 1 run. And then Ryan Helsley in the bottom of the 9th inning, or in the top of the 9th inning, 1 inning, 1 hit, 0 runs. 0 walks, and 3 strikeouts in the ninth inning. Ryan Helsley struck out all 3 batters in the ninth inning. You love to see that from him. We're obviously expecting him to have a big year this year for the Orioles. I predicted him yesterday to be one of our all-stars this season, and I fully expect him to get back to that St. Louis Cardinals form where he was the former National League reliever of the year. And this was a great start from him today. He's 1 for 1 on his saves. He gets the save today in a very close win. Trevor Rogers, 7 innings scoreless. Adley Rutschman, 2-hit game. A lot to be very happy about, but at the same time, there still is a lot of things to look forward to in the coming games as we obviously go along the next 6-7 months of this season. So it's going to be amazing to watch. Trevor Rogers looked incredible. Ryan Helsley looked incredible. Adley Rutschman, 2-hit game. Samuel Basayo getting a hit. Tyler O'Neill getting a hit. Blaze Alexander getting an RBI single. You love to see it from this team, starting off 1-0 on this season. But thank you guys so much for tuning into and listening to this episode of Birds of a Feather. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow up on Spotify, make sure to click the link in the bio to check out the Twitter and the Instagram. I appreciate you guys so much. Also, if you want to listen on Spotify, that is going to be in the link in the bio as well. I appreciate all of you guys so much. This is technically season 2 of Birds of a Feather. I started off this podcast on opening day last year, and 1 year later, we're here. We're here 231 episodes later. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for all the support on this channel, whether that's Spotify, YouTube, the Twitter, the Instagram, whatever it is. I appreciate all of you guys, anyone who tunes in and listens. And we're going to be back at it again on Saturday because that is when the Orioles' next game is. They actually don't play tomorrow for some reason, but they do play on Saturday. And then I think they have a bunch of games before they have their next game off. But the Orioles, in their first series of the year, hopefully, if they can win one of the next 2 games, they can take their first series of the year, which would be obviously amazing to see. If the Orioles can start off 3-0 with a sweep on the Twins, that would obviously be great. I think on Saturday it's going to be Kyle Bradish pitching, which should be a lot of fun. Today was obviously great. Opening day win. The Orioles are 1-0. You love to see it. I'll see you guys in the next one. You have a great sales day. Go O's, go Ravens, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.